Nargis, did I say
Yay,
your
you said it right.
last name
I'm so proud of you. So, my name is Nargis Fakhri, and I'm a human.
Yes,
And
that you are.
I smile for a living.
Where?
I am a Bollywood actress,
Yes.
or I should say I'm an international actress because I've done various films around the world, and that's about it. Probably been on many covers like Cosmo, Vogue, whatever, but I don't think that's the big accomplishment. So,
Right.
But thank you
I
for.
want to go there. I do. So, what do you?
Oh man, girl. Social media is definitely something that has changed the dynamics between human connection and interaction. And I feel personally it's like kind of ruining, and I'm old school, so I really enjoy meeting people one-on-one or outside somewhere, but I think nowadays people are using, you know, online apps and social media to connect with people.
In the time of my life, and it's really example and go, well, you know, she's living such a lavish and exotic life.
Right, and it's so crazy because I guess people who, you know, back in the day before social media or Instagram, whatever, you had models and actors, and that was, you know, our life. People saw that, saw us on TV, saw us on magazines, but we know it's just smoke and mirrors. Because like after, I mean, I remember working and, you know, you have a whole team putting all this stuff on your face and doing your hair, and then you're doing these shoots and you look amazing. And I remember coming home, taking off my eyelashes, my weave, like boob pads, everything. And I'm looking in the mirror, I'm like, who are you? Because even though I know the truth, I also got caught up in like, oh my God, I don't look like that girl on the magazine. This is what I look like. So I started feeling bad. So I think it's really sad now because everyone's able to do that, to put a mask on, to show a face that's not, people pretend to be someone they're not on social media. And people fall. I'll tell you a story. So when I was working in India, in Bollywood, I didn't have my friends or family around me, and I was just working really hard. And I was so depressed. And I was like, oh my God, I like hate my life. What am I doing here? Why am I here? I'm so lonely. This is not fulfilling. And I was looking at Instagram all the time because I was trying to keep up with my friends and other people and then other famous people. And I was telling my manager, I'm like, oh my God, my life sucks. Look at these people, they're having so much fun. I just want to be there with them, or I want to be like this person. And my manager looked at me and she's like, girl, you think Rihanna's page, you know, it looks perfect, but you think she's always happy? And then she started pointing out other celebrities. She's like, look, everyone's in your situation as well. They're feeling the same things. They're just posting something fun. She's like, look at your page. We went out clubbing, you posted a party picture. I know that you were not happy there, but you made everyone else think you're having the time of your life. So that really hit me. I was like, whoa, I can't really put too much energy towards looking at people's stuff in that way. So I had to change my thought process.
That's And I looked at porn, and so that's why I think we definitely.
Gosh, actually, fame, like, I feel like it ruined my soul. You know, I was I didn't set out to be an actress. The first time, it was in a negative way, unfortunately. And of course, the positive stuff is really nice, and it does give you a boost in your self-esteem, but I realized I can't hold on to that because when you're famous, it's gonna be negative and positive. And you kind of can't put so much into the positivity because when the negative hits you, it's gonna rip you down. So I had to find a way to just back away from all of it and not seek validation in what other people are saying. I had to remember that I am gonna validate myself. And I am enough, and I am a special person, and I'm unlike, you know, we're not the same people. We both are beautiful, we both are talented, but we're different. And I have to look at myself and appreciate and have gratitude for who I am. And that was a huge lesson.
That is because, right?
Absolutely.
So
that's a hard question because I think it comes from my childhood with the way that my mom raised me, but she didn't do it in the right way. She scared men and sex and relationships. So I think some stuff comes from her, where like always making sure that, you know, the morals of like sexual interaction or not being nude, like all these little random things came from her and stuck in my head. But then I also think I was a very shy person, so maybe that also played a part too. And then I had a lot of friends that did do things, and I always looked at the result
Yeah.
And so I'm a person that learns by watching other people. I'm not gonna make the same mistake that you made.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna know, hey, this is not the right way to go. I always knew that I'm not, like, what am I really hungry for? I'm not gonna be that hungry for fame.
Yeah.
That I'm gonna, do whatever, like pose naked or do certain things or sleep with a director. I mean, I've lost jobs because I didn't do certain things.
Wow.
And that was heartbreaking because it's like, oh my God, I'm trying to live in a place where I have high standards and boundaries, and it sucks because I got, kicked out more than once. But it still kept me telling myself, you know what, good people or people with the morals and values, you'll win your own way. Maybe it's just not that way.
Yeah.
And that's what I held on to, just knowing that, be true to myself.
Yeah.
And don't let anyone try to convince me for anything else.
Yeah.
And that there's nothing that's worth more than my morals and values.
Right, right.
So,
and I love that.
No.
So why were you?
I think that I didn't put so much value into my job and to that, into wanting that.
Yeah.
And for me, for me, the work was creative and fun, and of course it helped me take care of me and my family.
Right.
So that was the most important thing, not being famous, not being seen. But with that said, I always knew that I would get other jobs.
Yeah.
Like if it's not with this big person, that's fine. Maybe it'll be with another person, but they'll be a decent, good human being. And let me tell you, girl, I pray to God every day. God, I would say, God, please lead me on the right path and only put me with good people with good intentions in their heart. And somehow I've always been saved.
Yes.
So if I lost that job, I said, okay, you saved me. It was not meant to be. I'm good. Let's see what's next.
Yes.
So that's another thing. I don't like talking about that because I'm not so religious, but I do have that, it's like it's my secret. Yeah. And it's very personal to me, and I think I talk to God a lot.
That you have so much love in your heart about you so much.
Thank you. And I try to tell that to people because I'm like, if you want something, just ask and you'll receive.
Yeah.
But there's one condition: make sure your heart's clean.
Yeah, that's good.
And if I talk about my story, yes, I worked so hard, but I also have been blessed with the opportunity falling into my lap.
Yeah.
But my deepest desire and intention was all I want to do in life is take care of my mom, my sister, help other people the way I can, and travel and see the world.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, God just kept throwing all these gifts to me.
Yeah.
Anxiety, what else?
Speak it out.
I've traveled the world except for Latin America.
Okay.
I'm dying to go to Argentina and Brazil and Chile.
All right.
Yeah.
We're gonna be able to tour there.
I love it, yes. I think it's just people with power that I realized, and a lot of people misuse their power, and a lot of people that gain that power and fame and money, they haven't healed their souls, so they have something going on, this empty void that they need to fill. That's what I think. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I'm nobody. Who am I? I smile for a living. Smile. But I've had so much experience in my life, and I do a lot of self-reflection because I'm not perfect in other ways. Yeah. And I'm just trying to understand myself and other people. So I guess that would be the thing, the void. And then where there's demand, there's supply. So that's when porn and prostitution goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
So
I think so. You have the money, and now you have Hollywood.
And of course, there's a lot of naive people who haven't lived life yet or experienced things, so they don't know.
That was me.
Yeah,
I was 18.
And even for me, not with that, but there's other things in my life that I was a little naive to, and then you get yourself into a situation, you're like, oh, wait a minute, that was not right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So have you?
I was really happy to work in Bollywood because they don't do sex scenes.
Yeah.
So that made me so happy because I'm like, I am so not into getting naked in front of a camera. I can't do it. And to be overly sexual or in a passionate scene would be very difficult for me because even though it's acting and that's what you're supposed to do, I just had reservations about that. So I was happy about that. Definitely in modeling, they with models, you're just this mannequin. So there are times that they ask you to do topless shots or to be super naked in an ad. But I was never comfortable with stuff like that. So determined what, I would say no, sorry, I can't do it. Or of course you ask, what are they looking for? And if they are looking for something you know, that I'm not comfortable with, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna. When I was modeling, there was like this college edition Playboy magazine thing, and my agent had said, you know, they're asking for girls and they've chosen to see you if you would want to do something like that. And of course, like, I was like, oh wow, Playboy's so huge, and then the money was so much.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, that's a lot of money. But then I was like, no. I said, no thanks, I'm good. Yeah, just go.
Yeah, you just go, you're like, nope, not in my vision,
Yeah,
throw it out. That doesn't fit.
Tell you something else they don't have.
What?
Patience.
Yeah.
And in this world today with social media and dating apps and all that, it's an instant gratification world.
Yes.
And people don't understand, like where I am today started when I was 10.
Yeah.
I used to save my pennies. I used to put bottles in the machines and save the money.
Yeah.
I didn't buy new shoes. I put tape on my shoes because I knew that I was getting out of these projects.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm doing it. And I always, as a kid, just took those steps.
Yeah.
And if I didn't do that, I would not be here with you telling this story. Another thing I look at, which I just think about this all the time because I have a sibling who we are night and day, grew up in the same household, but we made different life choices.
Yeah.
So it's the choice that you have. So say you went towards porn because they offered so much money and excitement. I like worked at Taco Bell, Dunkin' Donuts, and cleaned houses. And then of course later bartended or whatever to find ways to make a lot of money as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's just the choices, and we have choices.
We do.
As long as we're breathing, we have a choice to make, 2 choices to make.
Exactly.
Maybe even 3, I don't know.
Yeah, we can make as many choices as we want.
I feel for me, porn would hurt the marriage or the relationship because you're kind of separating yourself from your partner. You know, you're going into this other fantasy world when you should be talking to your partner about the fantasy that you want.
Yeah.
And you know, like, and hope, you know, maybe you like something weird, I don't know, toe sucking, or like, I don't know, like weird things put in different places. I don't know what you like. No, make each other feel comfortable. Don't go to watch some other, you know, peak couple doing all those weird things or whatever. Do the weird things with your wife. Like, come on. And I'm sure she has weird things. Yeah. You know, like, but we won't know unless we communicate that and talk about it. I think a lot of people are scared too, but you know, something we have to figure out how to get over. Afraid of telling our secrets to one another, afraid that we're gonna be judged or shamed, even though we are in this union. Some people do still feel like they need to keep secrets and that they're afraid to tell their partner that this is an issue I have or this is what I like, or because they don't want to be judged or shamed. And
You know
oh my gosh, I think I'd get offended.
I know.
I would get offended
I know.
at this moment in my life.
Yeah,
my heart would hurt. That real honesty, that's hard for a lot of people. I was so driven to take care of my family and constantly felt this burden to take care of them and always forgot to take care of myself. So I would tell myself, listen, you know, the world is not on your shoulders. You know, you can't change or save people. And you have to learn when to let go, and you have to, I didn't have boundaries back then. So I always felt this heavy weight of like, oh gosh, I gotta take care of my family, gotta take care of my family. So then that drove me towards constantly working and only thinking about work. Like I didn't care about dudes, friends, relationships. I was working. I need to find the next way to make money. What kind of business am I gonna do? How am I gonna get this? How am I gonna pay for my sister's stuff? How am I gonna take care of my mom's bills? And sure that I put on myself, and I forgot to build better relationships, which I'm learning now at this very young, youthful age. It's not fame, it's not money, it's not who you are, what you do. The thing that brings you happiness is the relationships you have with people. How you value your friendships, value your family, and make sure that they value you back. And so that builds a bond. Because you and I, we have a good time chatting away. We don't have to go nowhere. We could sit on the corner, have a bottle of cheap wine and laugh and joke, and that'll be the best night ever. Better than any night on the red carpet or some fancy party. Woo, girl! Well, I really do feel that we learn through our relationships because people reflect things about us, like things we don't like about people.
So
Sometimes
good.
we find it in us, or we learn what we don't like or do like. So I think relationships are important. There's a way to go about getting a relationship. And if you don't use that like guideline, you're gonna end up in a relationship that probably you don't want to be in because you didn't follow the guideline and take the time to get to know the person.
Yeah.
And when you take the time to get to know someone and not have sex with them so fast, you're building emotional intimacy.
Yes.
And then through that, you're able to see the red flag. Yes, because you can't get away. Because once you sleep with a man, your soul is intertwined with that man.
Yeah.
Whether he's good or bad, you are bonded. I love you.
Cut them off.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
it's like with my
Girl, I feel you. Getting from this conversation. Girl, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I know a lot of people out there, they're not gonna be like, oh my God, I'm not waiting till I get married. Was she crazy?
Right.
And I have the best advice that my therapist told me. She goes, it has to be 10 dates before any penis revelation. Talking about, girl. She's like, 10 dates? I was like, yeah, I mean, I go on 10 dates. She's like, girl, not 10 dates in a row.
Yeah.
She's like, you have to spread it out like a date a week.
Steve Harvey, I read.
Would take the opportunity to slow down.
Yeah.
That would help to lessen the heartbreak. Because
Yes.
let me tell you, heartbreak is so painful.
Yeah.
You know, like literally physically painful.
It's been amazing.
Thank you so much.